somebody's laundry up there. I was trying to get an angle where it wasn't in the picture. But, there you go. A little local flavor from Durrës, Albania. My last month here, my last exactly 28 days here. And then I'll be going to back to Spain for a month. And then on to South America. Okay, so that's the world travel update. This is a video I wanted to talk as a response video to Kelly at Books I'm Not Reading. She did a recent video about commenting, and she sort of put the word out asking people to comment about the phenomenon of commenting on BookTube. She asked for responses from people with their own channels, like this one, or people who just watch a lot of BookTube and make comments. And then Steve, the saint of BookTube, Saint Donahue, did an excellent response video. And in his, he did the same thing. He asked for people to talk about their commenting philosophy and also to make their own videos about it. And recently I did a video about why you should start your own YouTube channel. So another reason that I didn't put in there that that I thought of after I saw especially Kelly's video is, or actually especially when I thought about Steve's video where he talked about people doing very long comments. At a certain point, because if you've watched my channel for a while, and I don't know why you would, but you see some ridiculously long videos on there because I just cannot stop blabbing. And so, for example, on Kelly's video on this subject, Kelly Books I'm Not Reading, I did leave a very long comment, longer than I usually do. Usually when I get to that point, I feel like, well, if I have this much to say, I should just make my own video about it. And some people are more comfortable typing, some people are more comfortable talking. I think, even though I've written very much in my life, I think I'm more comfortable talking because I don't like typing on my phone, and if I'm watching a video, I feel like I have a big comment to make, I don't want to. That stuff's distracting to me. I don't want to, put the phone down, go to my laptop, look up the same video, go back to the comments fields, and stop typing. So I do the thumb typing, as we all do. But I hate that, and I'm not a particularly clean first rough draft writer. So then I got to go through and correct 90% of the typos. I at least try and correct 90% of the typos. Then I think of other things I want to say, and it just goes on and on and on because, as you can see from my videos, I'm a very discursive thinker. I get off track very, very easily. So, and I don't even know what I was talking about. So that's one reason I started a channel. It has to do specifically with comments that I didn't mention before. Is sometimes I have so much to say that I don't want to feel like I'm over monopolizing someone's comment field, or but in general my feeling about comments, and whether I as a booktuber, whether I like them or not, of course I do like them. I like to know what people are saying about my channel. I don't actually ask for comments or likes or subscribers just because I forget. It's not that I'm philosophically opposed to it. The few times I've tried to do it hasn't really made much of a difference either way. But another thing, I didn't want to leave the impression that I may have left on Kelly's video with my comment there that I'm upset about any of this that I'm sad about any of this as a YouTuber. I'm fine with what I get, because what I've learned from doing this channel for a year or so is that really mostly doing it for myself. And so I'm very pleased, more than pleased. I'm really honored and flattered when anybody finds anything useful in my videos. But if I were trying to make them useful, they'd be 10 minutes instead of 65 minutes, because people don't have that kind of time. And I also sometimes feel like I'm putting too much of a burden on people as it is. to then expect them to comment, and I don't really I don't feel hurt or surprised even when no one comments on a video. It's there's different ways to engage, and I think a lot of people just like to watch videos. I rarely make a comment. Well, now I'm not going to make any comments outside of BookTube anymore because it's messed a few things up for me. I as a YouTube watcher, a YouTube junkie, I would say, looking for my landlord. Hope he doesn't come along because he wants to go for a drink, but I want to finish this video first. Uh, um, I oh boy, this is bad. I'm completely lost my train of thought this time. I do them for myself, I guess, and so when I comment, and I try and comment because I know, I will. To be honest, if someone asks for comments, I'm more likely to comment. If someone asks for a like, I'm more likely to hit the like button. Uh, and Kelly has a thing she does on her channel, which I really love, and I would do it on other channels. Although I think she invented it. I don't know if she got it from somewhere else, or if a lot of people use this technique for commenters that I just don't know about. But she'll say to people, if you're not comfortable commenting, or if you're not, you feel like you don't have anything to say, it does. She does like to know that people are there and listening, so she'll suggest they just leave an emoji like a heart or a thumbs up or something in the comment field, and she'll know what that means. I try and do that on hers when I see her videos. I've thought about doing it on other people's channels, but I don't know if it would just be confusing. Like, why is this 64-year-old man cruising by my channel and leaving me a heart? Good God, who knows? So I don't do it on other people's channels much. I would encourage people to do it here if they want. If they just want to know that, if they just want me to know that they're watching, that would be great to just put an emoji down there, or a happy face, or a laugh face, or something, whatever you want. You don't have to, because there are different ways to gauge, that I gauge interaction. Like, some videos I'll get will have a lot of views but no comments and no likes. Some will have few views but a lot of likes. And these are all relative because I don't get that many views overall because I have a small channel. But I also don't want to leave the impression that I care too much about any of that stuff. And I think there's kind of some people feel a bit of maybe I should speak for myself. Sometimes I feel a bit of pressure to interact more because there's so much great content out there. I will sometimes watch a great video for 5 or 10 minutes, even though it's a longer video, where I just feel I've learned enough of that subject. And there'll be other videos where people are, they're talking about something that I find personally really interesting, and they'll go, after 10 minutes, they'll go, "Oh, well, I've wasted enough of your time. I'm going to stop now." And I'm like, "Don't stop now. You're just revving up." So I don't think, as far as commenting goes, that I can really say whether the comments accurately reflect how much I like a channel or not, or how much anybody likes a channel. Some invite more comments than others. Just as a small booktuber, I do try and be conscious and supportive of people who don't get a lot of comments. When I can, I wish I could do more. Sometimes I don't know what to say. Sometimes those, if you've got a channel and you get comments, the YouTube platform, the, what do you call it, the studio, YouTube Studio, where you manage your videos and everything. This is for people who don't have a channel. They may not have seen this. You'll get a comment, and you'll go to respond, and it'll give you two of the most inane suggestions for responses like "Thanks for watching." You know, like I couldn't have thought of saying that myself, but I guess it's to save you typing or something. And I cringe sometimes because I'll see in the two suggestions, "Thanks for watching," or "I really appreciate your perspective," or something like that, that I would have written, but now I can't write it because it's the stupid AI tried to get me to write it, so I have to think of something else to say. Um, um, and I try and balance it out. You know, if I hate missing a comment, but there are a few that I won't respond to, and they're not necessarily. Steve on his video, you should really watch it all the way through if you're interested in this subject. He talks a lot about etiquette in the comments. Some stuff's obvious, like don't be rude, especially on a small channel. I'll be honest, there are many times when I've gone on a big comedy podcast channel where everyone is ragging on the Austin-based comedian who's telling people everything he wants to tell them, you know, and he has his CI handler on, you know, and it's kind of fun to play back and forth in the comments with the other commenters if everybody's making fun of the celebrity podcaster or and his 250 comedy assassin best friends who are the funniest people in the world. Uh, so those kind of things I really don't count as much because those people claim at least they don't read the comments, although clearly they have someone read the comments and discuss the mood. Uh, discuss the mood in the comments. So that's kind of a different thing than I guess we're talking about. We're talking about channels where it's clear that the person is a small YouTuber where they don't have a staff, you know, and they're going to read the comments themselves and could have their feelings hurt or could have things taken out of context or that. I've really never had any problems, which is kind of a fun thing about being a small booktuber is you really don't have to deal with a lot of unsympathetic people. If they're going to bother to sit through your content, it's probably because uh, they're predisposed to like what you have to say and that kind of thing. So if I see views, I think, you know, in a way that's a comment. It's just saying like, okay, I said everything that I needed to say and no one really disagreed with me and no one really had that much to add on this particular subject. And that's fine. I should have made a list for this because it was a few days ago that I watched these. But in general, when I comment, I try and keep it short. I try and be respectful of the time of the person who made the video. I try to assume goodwill on the part of the video. You know, a person may have misspoke. A person may have, a person like me, for example, with terrible editing skills, may call somebody by the wrong name or use the wrong first name for an author or something and then not catch it. And it's okay to put corrections in there, but you know, most of the time when I see that, I just let it go. I know that this person meant I don't know. I can't think of an example now. This person meant Bert Convy and not Burt Reynolds, or you know, because it's easy to make those kind of mistakes, and I don't know how to go back in and put little, you know, subtitles like correction. I did this wrong, because I don't worry about that much about it. And my channel is, if I'm trying to appeal to anybody, I'm trying to appeal to the kind of people I would like to be around in real life, which is an amazing thing about BookTube. Is I do find people that I would love to. I think that if we met in a cafe or something, and we would have a good time talking about our books, and that's how I try and approach the channel. It's not all about gotchas and complaints and arguments, and that's why it's fun to do. And the comments are enjoyable, and I do more focus on commenting on small channels. You know, at a certain point, I feel like, you know, if somebody's got, I don't know, 50,000 subscribers, I don't even know if I watch any channels with that many. Definitely not BookTube channels. It just if they're that if they're that staged and rehearsed and choreographed and organized and then one, I don't feel I owe them comments, and two, I don't feel like they would care about the comments. Um, but I mostly watch smaller channels, and even ironically, the channels we talk about that are bigger in the space. I won't name anybody, but many times they have 6, 7, 8,000 subscribers, which is minuscule by YouTube's channels. But if I see somebody with like a couple hundred subscribers or 10 subscribers, yeah, I'll just think of something to say. I'll just try and think of something to say, even if I don't have much to say. Just to let them know that somebody's out there and appreciate their comment and their content. But a lot of stuff, I really don't have anything direct to say on a lot of people's things, and I do forget sometimes that just saying to someone, "Hey, I really appreciate you. I really appreciate your video. I'm glad you're here." Something like that is a big deal. I don't know why. Maybe this is just a human thing. I don't think someone who's got 5,000 subscribers needs to hear that from me, but often they do. So I think I will try and do more commenting, as long as I'm there on a video. Sometimes I'll just be honest here, and sometimes I've gotten in trouble by I'll start typing a comment in the middle of a video and I'll say, "Oh, you should check out this," and then I go have to edit the comment because the very next thing they say is, "You should check out this," the exact same thing I'm talking about, because I haven't listened to the whole video yet. But I want to make sure my thoughts are out there for people, and it is a tough thing. I have a harder time thinking of what to say on someone else's video than I have in creating my own videos, because sometimes I feel like, oh, is this just going to sound like I'm trying to one up them? Like they'll be talking about some book, and I'll say, "Oh, I love that book. Have you read this?" And um, or someone will be talking about a new author they just discovered, and I'll start to type, "Oh yeah, he's one of my favorites since high school," and I feel like I don't want them to think I'm trying to one up them, when I'm trying to relate. So it is a bit of a conundrum. The more I talk about it, I realize that I have trouble figuring out what to comment sometimes. I think I'm gonna let me know what you think in the comments, or make your own video. Be a great way to start your channel. Just make a video about this subject. And then if you don't like it, you can take it down later, or you could just, another good way to bury embarrassing videos is just to make 5 or 6 more, because people will most likely see the newer ones. So if you say something dumb, just keep saying stuff, say more stuff, and maybe eventually something smart will come out. Um, so I'm going to try and comment more, even if it's banal comments. I try, I want to say something interesting sometimes. Uh, it's not always possible. You might have a take on something that I just find fun to watch, or I just might like the personality of the person talking and not really care what they're talking about. It's just certain people I check in with, every week or so, no matter what the subject is, just because I like them. Just the way you say hello to your friends that you haven't talked to in a while, and then you just talk about whatever bullshit comes up in your daily life. Like I'm going to talk about with my landlord soon. I'm sure we're going to talk about. I haven't talked to him in a couple of weeks. I'm sure we're going to talk about whatever bullshit is going on, with his job or whatever. And he'll ask me if anything's wrong with the apartment. It'll just be stuff. It's just the point of hanging out, and so it is good, I guess, to let people know you're there. I think to conclude this video, where am I at? Oh, this is well long. That I'm overthinking the comment sections when I go on other people's videos. Is that dandruff on my shirt or on the screen? I think it's on the screen. Jeez, there's a problem with doing. I started doing these on my phone because the camera on my laptop is so dingy, and the only reason I was using the camera on my laptop is so I could do screen caps of covers on my phone. So eventually I'm gonna learn at least how to put a thumbnail, not a thumbnail, but a screen cap of a cover here. I got to learn to do that, and it's not. I mean, I know I can learn to do it, but it's just on the phone or on the laptop trying to edit. I just my big fucking meaty hands are just so. I have so much trouble manipulating things and mouse and everything. So I that's why I can't tolerate editing because it's like minute work. If I had a big home setup, but I'm traveling, so I don't have that. So maybe next year um, I'll do that. So I still got to figure out how to show cover art in my videos on my phone by holding up my not my iPad, my Chromebook, which does fold back like a tablet, but it's pretty big to get in the frame. So I'm just thinking out loud, which is mostly what I use my channel for. So those are my thoughts on comments. As much as I can clarify them today. It's not a big subject to me, but I did think about it as I was writing a very long comment on Kelly's page. That this is one of the reasons I don't comment, because I'll go on and on and on. And I guess it's better to indulge yourself on your own channel than in somebody else's comment field. Recently, there was a comment field that was so substantive and great that I read. I don't see a lot of those. A lot of them, they go on for a while, and it's not always the best way to have substantive conversations. The comment fields, because there's all sub responses and everything. It becomes like a long Reddit thread or something, which I've never really been a Reddit guy or a bulletin board guy or anything like that. So maybe that's a reason that I don't really know what much to do in the comment fields, except try and avoid the AI canned response and come up with my own silly response when I don't have anything to say. So if you feel like it, on this channel, we'll just speak about this channel, we can use Kelly's idea. Just leave an emoji or something if you feel like you have nothing to say, but that you want to acknowledge some way. Or you can hit the like, or you can just watch the videos, because views count too. So I don't know. I'll try and think about it more, and I will definitely not do a follow up. I won't subject you to that, but I think commenting is a fun part of YouTube, of BookTube. Uh, and I think people should use it if they want to. But if you find yourself commenting a lot on different videos, you may want to consider having your own channel. If you really have a lot to say about other people's channels, which is good, I think you might have a lot to say for yourself, and your channel would be interesting. So give it a shot. Okay, bye.